This is the Shout Out Show. Nothing but the Shout Out Show. It's a quick shout out show. We only have, we have just a couple of things to hit. So yeah, without any further ado. So, since we talked last, I know the last shout out show was huge, right? This one's not going to be exactly the opposite. We've got one new subscriber. Let's get into the caveats real quick. Caveats: I can't see you if you subscribe on Rumble. I don't know how to do it. Rumble hasn't responded to my inquiries, so the only way to get acknowledgement on Rumble is to comment on a video. I do check those. So there's that. Social medias exist. Look for Generally Nerdy. As far as YouTube goes, because that seems to be where most of the interactions come from, if you are a new subscriber and I don't give you your shout out, it's because I can't see your name, because you have your stuff set to private. If you want to stay private, that is your prerogative. I ain't hating. But if you want a shout out, if you want to become part of the conversation, then comment section is your friend. Or you can join the live shows once they continue on. Again, we are still a few weeks away from the continuation of the live shows. But that being said, those are all the little caveats. Let's get into new subscribers over on the Clips channel. Over on the second YouTube channel, we have Jodi Querry is the new subscriber who has her stuff set to public. So thank you very much, Nerd, for the follow. And then we have one piece of comment to get to. This has to do with last week's That Just Happened episode titled Marvelous Miss Izzard, Corsets, and DUNE. So this comment comes from OverKill Phil, and Mr. Phil says, I hope they don't completely leapfrog the actual success of Miss Maisel. We've seen her as a stand-up and in the writer's room, but then the time jump to the future only implies that she's a success. What's the big break? Who gives her a chance to be herself? Where, when, why, also how? 100% agree. I might not have illustrated that super well when we've talked about this previously, though I think one of the suggestion videos might have done that, or maybe it was That Just Happened, I can't remember. But yeah, 100%. I think that if we don't fill in some of these details by the time this season ends, it's going to feel very unsatisfying. There is already a part of me that is rather unsatisfied with the way this is going, just in general, because the change of format that we've talked about a number of times at this point. The change of going from a rather linear story of a very powerful and hilarious woman in earlier days of Hollywood, I should say. And now in this last season, we have all these time jumps, and we're getting interactions with the kids, and we're getting all of this other stuff that is interesting, but is not the same storytelling style of the previous seasons. So that's been a little jarring and a little unsatisfying. And so if they continue with that and don't actually show us how Maisel made it so huge or any of that, then yeah, 100% agree. Super unsatisfying and really a horrible way to end a series, I think. So yeah, thank you very much for the comment, OverKill Phil. That is our show. Like I said, quick and sweet and all of the things. If you want to get your shout out, the best way to do it is in the comments section on the YouTube channel, or anywhere else, honestly, is fine. It's just I'm on the YouTube all the time, and I have to make it a point to go check all the other stuff. So if you want a guaranteed response, at least in text, then YouTube is the way to go. Everything else, yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it. Thank you very much, nerds, for joining me. We will see you in the next one. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here, and I'm gonna shout you out.